All right, thank you everybody for coming to Transit Matters. We appreciate you being here. We are going to start things off with a safety message. John, if you want to take it away from here, do that in the driver updates.
Thank you. We're getting into the summer months, and I know it hasn't seemed like it the last couple of weeks, but we're coming up on the time in a city like Nashua where heat can start to be a pretty big health concern. Nashua Transit is part of the city's solution to heat emergencies, and so I just wanted to take a little time to remind folks that you can use the bus basically every day to get out of a hot apartment. There's the Nashua Mall is a great place to go for refuge during the day. It's air conditioned. If being at the mall isn't your cup of tea, you could also go to the library. That's well air conditioned and climate controlled. Um, and then in extreme circumstances, you can go to the cooling centers that the city will set up through the emergency management team. But I think the point is to just remind people that when the heat in your apartment gets oppressive and you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy and you're having a hard time drinking enough water to keep up, it's a good time to get out and using the bus. Buses are air conditioned. Where you're going to go is going to be air conditioned. So feel free to take advantage of that to get yourself out of that bad and dangerous situation. Just quick update, we have had a lot of hiring in the last month and a half. So we have 3 new CDL drivers in service. So you'll see probably if you ride the buses regularly, you've probably seen some of these folks. Renee, Sharita, and Joe have been in service for a couple of weeks now, I think 2 weeks. And they're doing a great job. The 3 of them actually have a lot of experience in transit, which has been really nice because they're managing to stay pretty close to on time, and I've had nothing but compliments about their performance. So it's great. And then that next slide should say that we have 4 new non-CDL drivers currently in training. That's Michael, Eli, Greg, and Alex, and they're actually all finishing their training this week. So you'll see them in vans starting in the next couple of weeks covering paratransit, but then also starting to cover some of the fixed route that we can do with smaller vehicles. They're all working on getting their commercial driver's licenses. It's just a process, and so it'll be another couple of months before they're all driving the full-size buses.
All right, so now I'm just going to take you guys through a summary of our most recent changes and go through the services that are available on our fixed route system now. All right, so starting with weekday service. Weekday service will look pretty familiar. The only big change is that we have added back the Route 2. So during the day, Monday through Friday, you can now take the Route 2 along with the 19, 712, the 2A, the 6, and the 6A. And also, because of the Route 2 returning to service, we now have service back to Dartmouth Hitchcock and Southwood Drive. Although please do note that the Park and Ride and North Southwood Drive as a whole is on call only. So if you do need to get there when you board the bus, please inform your driver that you'd like to be dropped off there. And to be picked up, please give us a call at 603-880-0100 and ask the dispatcher to send the Route 2 your way. And these services will run from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. As for weeknight service, Monday through Friday, there are no changes. It is still the night north and the night south, and will run from 6:45 p.m. to 9:45 p.m. As for Saturday service, this is where our big change is. The Saturday North End, Central Area, and South End have been replaced with some of our previous routes. So we are now running the routes 1, 2A, 6, 7, 9, and 12 on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So instead of the 3 north end, central area, and south end routes, it is now the 1, 2A, 6, 7, 9, and 12. So just to recap, to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, Route 2 has returned to daytime service Monday through Friday. The routes 1, 2A, 6, 7, 9, and 12 have replaced the Saturday routes. And if you ever need a reference point, you can just go to our website. I can just click on this here. It's under our services tab. All right, yeah. So if you ever just go to the homepage, just go under services. It'll be right here. It's the first link under routes and schedules. And so you'll have all the maps available to you. There are just a few changes that we do want to point out as well. For the Route 12 that is running on Saturday, we want to inform people that the end of the route has been slightly modified. So rather than coming down West Hollis and taking this section along the Everett Turnpike here to come out on Simon Street, it's going to continue down West Hollis and then up North Dunstable, or New Dunstable, excuse me. And we've added 4 new stops. As you can see here, we have 56 New Dunstable and Marcar, Will and 12th, and Gatewood Manor on the opposite side of the street from the Gatewood shelter. There are no longer stops being served on 12th Street itself, and all these stops to the left here and all these stops to the left of this line will no longer be served by the Route 12. And then we have made an adjustment to the stop at the Nashua Mall. So before, the stop was right in front of the Christmas tree stop right here where this red X is. That bus stop is now moved to the Burlington Coat Factory store in between these 2 crosswalks here. So this is where you'll be able to find the bus stop. This way, it's safer for passengers, so that way you're not crossing into traffic, and it's also easier for the bus to pick you up. Moving on to Hampton Beach, we will not be sending a bus to Hampton Beach in the months of June or July, unfortunately. But our priority is to bring back service within Nashua and make sure that the fixed route service here, is at its best before we start sending special event buses out to Hampton. If more drivers are hired and available, we may be able to send a bus to Hampton Beach during August and September, but we will keep you posted. And as soon as we know that we'll be able to do it or not, we will let you know. Then there's also the June survey. We currently have a customer service survey out. You can take it either online or in paper or on paper. Paper surveys are available at the transit center. Just go up to the ticket window and ask for a survey, and you'll be able to pick one up. Complete the survey for a chance to win a $25 Visa gift card or an NTS monthly pass. And to take the survey online, again, you can just go to our website and you can scroll down to the news flash section right here. Click on the 2023 customer service survey, and you can click either of these links, whether you prefer to take the survey in English or Spanish here. And just to make everyone aware, please complete and return the survey by June 30th, as that will be the last day to fill out the survey. Lastly, I just want to remind everybody that NTS is here to help. If you're ever feeling confused, whether it is due to changes of our services or just any general questions or whatnot, please feel free to reach out to us. Some of the best methods of reaching out to us is to either call us or email us. You can call us at 603-880-0100, and an NTS representative will gladly assist you. Or you can email us at ntsfeedback@nashuanewhampshire.gov, or send us a message through our form center located on our website under Contact Us. All right. That concludes the presentation. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
Alderman Jettie, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you. So a doctor's office contacted me about a patient that they had who was unable to, can't use the regular bus, and was unable to get to the doctor's office, and so can you speak about what services, what opportunities we provide for people who need door-to-door service to go to a doctor's appointment? Do we do that? And if so, is there a written pamphlet or something that we can distribute to doctors' offices, through maybe the health department or something to make that service known?
Sure, of course. I can actually answer that since that's kind of my thing. So we do offer a couple of different services specifically for residents of Nashua. We have our ADA complimentary paratransit service, which we run through the Americans with Disabilities Act. And it's the complimentary part of it refers to that it's complimentary to the fixed route and that it runs the same hours and area. There is a fare, it's not free. So but it's for anyone who has a physical or a mental condition that would make it next to impossible for them to use the regular city bus. So someone who, for whatever reason they can't access the bus stop, or they have a particular level of mobility which makes it hard for them to get on and off a bus or go from bus stop to bus stop. There's a lot of different circumstances that would certainly apply. So they also have to be picked up and dropped off within 3/4 of a mile of a city bus stop to use the service. And there's an application for that. We have a ton of information on our website. That we do have a brochure. The way it works is somebody inquires about it, they apply, and then afterward I would send out a letter determining their eligibility, and then in addition the brochure which explains some of the important details about the service, like the fare information, how to call and schedule a trip, those sorts of things. But yeah, that information is definitely out there. You can always reach out to me or just call our office and someone can connect you, and we can help this individual in particular apply for the paratransit. Also, we do have our senior demand response service, which is for residents of Nashua who are 65 and older. Those are really the only qualifications. And both that service and the ADA paratransit use our paratransit vans. They come to a person's home or apartment building, whatever the case may be. We don't go inside someone's home or carry belongings, anything like that, because we are public transit, but we do sort of a curb to curb kind of service there with that. And then, it's a shared ride service. There'd be other people on the vehicle with them, which either of the services they're using. Most people use it to go to medical appointments, grocery store, that kind of thing. Those are the typical trip requests we get for that. And another difference between the two services is that the senior service just runs Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4, and the ADA paratransit runs Monday through Friday as well as Saturday, because it runs the same hours as the city bus. I hope that answers the question.
So if I could follow up on that, my concern, and it may not be valid, but my concern is whether or not all of the people who might take advantage of this, know that it exists. I know you say the information is on the website. Um, I went to the website and tried to answer this question, and I found the thing about making the application and all of that stuff. It wasn't clear to me that the difference between the paratransit and the age, the ADA part of it and the age part of it. So I'm just wondering if we couldn't. You're doing a great job, but I'm wondering if we could do a better job of making the medical offices aware of this, so that they can, if they have a patient who runs into this problem, that they could tell the patient about it, so the patient could then follow up with the application process.
Yeah,
I just wonder if there isn't a missing link between somebody not knowing anything about this. Once they know about it, I see that you've provided lots of information on how to apply and all that thing. I'm just wondering if we could do a better job about making people who might not know about it at all aware that it exists.
no, that's an excellent point. Thank you. And I do want to elaborate on that and just say that we do a ton of outreach to anyone and everyone. I mean, myself and Nick and Lori and Camille, we're always out there telling people about our services. And there are plenty of folks who work at many of the local medical clinics, the big hospitals included, that do know about our services, because they are always calling and, referring their patients and that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, so there's a lot of ways that we are already definitely getting the word out there. And you do have an excellent point about, the website. We can always improve what's on the website. You can always add to what's there, put more updated information, change the wording so that it's more clear to people. Yeah, I mean, short of that, I mean, it could certainly do a bigger push to inform folks in the medical community. I mean, I can't, call up all the hospitals and be like, hey, we have this service, because that's kind of a lot of work. But, we're certainly open to ideas and just keeping up the outreach on that.
And Alderman Jettie, I wonder if, to the extent that you can share maybe some details about at least the entities that you're talking about, the specific medical offices, we could start with some targeted outreach to them to ensure that they're aware of the services that are available. To Carrie's point, I think the group is doing a really good job of doing broad-based outreach, but maybe there's a need for a reminder with those specific offices. And so if you could share any of those details with us, maybe offline, we could do some targeted outreach to them.
Great, thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, I think I will end the meeting then. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks everyone.
Hello, everyone.